We'll be talking about mixtures and pure substances. We will try to distinguish what is a mixture and what is a pure substance. But first, let's have a review on state of matter. What is matter? Right? A matter can be classified into two. First, we have mixture, and the second one we have substances. Mixture can also be classified into two. The first one is homogeneous and the other one is heterogeneous. While pure substance can be classified also for two different types, which is element and the compound. What is the difference between homogeneous, between a mixture and a pure substance? When we say mixture, contains two or more different substances that are only physically joined together. Remember, physically joined together. Well, element, which is a pure substance, contains just one type of atom. A compound, which is also a pure substance, contains two or more different atoms joined together. Physically or chemically, they are joined together chemically. So the difference between a mixture and a compound is that a mixture is joined physically while a combine is joined chemically. So let's talk about first mixture. What is a mixture? A mixture is a combination of two or more pure substances that are physically combined. So let's take an example. A salt, sodium chloride, is a pure substance, and water, which is also a pure substance, when mixed together physically, we have a mixture of water and salt. Take note, a mixture of water and salt, right? So no chemical change takes place in this particular mixture. So the chemical property of water retains, the chemical property of salt retains. Each item retains its properties in the mixture. As what I've said, they can be separated physically by distillation, flotation, evaporation, or decantation. You can also use chromatography if you are trying to separate the components of a color. Use a magnet if you're trying to use to separate metals with non-metal components. Filtration and sieving. So these are just few of the ways we can use to separate mixtures. In this particular example, what is the best way to separate this? We have evaporation or distillation. Physically, we can separate this through evaporation or distillation. So let us first classify mixture. Mixture can be classified as homogeneous or heterogeneous. Again, it's homogeneous or heterogeneous. Homogeneous can be grouped into two also. We have a solution and we have colloid. While heterogeneous can be suspension, right? Homogeneous can be solution or a colloid, while heterogeneous can be a suspension. Solution. What is a solution? Solution is a homogeneous mixture composed of two or more substances. Evenly mixed, only one phase of matter is seen. The components cannot be seen individually. Take note, evenly mixed, only one phase of matter is seen, and the components cannot be seen individually. Example, we have sugar and water. When sugar is mixed with water and the sugar has been dissolved, then we have a sugar solution. In this particular example, you cannot anymore distinguish which is the sugar and which is the water. That is, the components cannot be seen individually. Alright? Now let's have another example. Salt and water. When the salt is dissolved in water, it becomes salt solution. So it's evenly mixed, only one phase of matter is seen. Here is liquid, so this is a phase of water. But this one Brass, an alloy of some metals. When we say alloy, it's a combination of at least two different elements like copper or tin or copper or iron. This becomes an alloy, and this alloy is called brass. Okay, so this is a solid solution. Example of another liquid solution is 70% alcohol solution. So it's already written here, alcohol solution. Mixture of water and ethanol. Take note, evenly mixed, components cannot be seen individually in this solution. Let us proceed to the next type of mixture, which is colloid. Colloid is a mixture that has particles ranging from or between 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometers in diameter. If people imagine that is too small, but it is bigger than the particle of solution, and that is also evenly distributed throughout the mixture. A common method of classifying colloids is based on the phase of dispersed substance and what phase it is being dispersed in. The types of colloids include sol, emulsion, foam, and aerosol. Sol is a colloidal suspension with solid particles in a liquid. So the dispersing medium is liquid, the dispersed substance is a solid. Emulsion is between two liquids. The dispersed substance is the dispersed substance is liquid and it is dispersed in another liquid. Foam is formed when many gas particles are trapped in a liquid or solid. Aerosol contains small particles of liquid or solid dispersed in gas. I'm going to give you an example. Dust is a colloid if suspended in air. It consists of a solid in a gas, so it is an aerosol. So dust is an example of aerosol. Whipped cream is a colloid. It consists of a gas and a liquid, so it is a foam. Sol is a colloidal suspension with solid particles in a liquid. There is a special property a colloid exhibit, and that is Tyndall effect. The light is reflected off the large particles and spread out. That is Tyndall effect. Now, if a colloid is larger than 1000 nanometers, or the particles is larger than 1000 nanometers, that is not colloid anymore. That is what we call suspension. So that is going to discuss in this particular topic. Suspension is heterogeneous mixtures in which solute-like particles settle out of a solvent-like phase sometime after mixing. So after you have mixed it, there are particles that settle, then that is a suspension. For example, this is a mixture of chia and water, common drink used by those people who are having diet. So chia, the small, the black small particles there, and we have the salad dressing. So they're already suspended on the liquid. So see, there are suspended particles, salad dressing, and another example is skin disease in medicine. Sometimes you see medicine bags like this, and it will ask you to shake before you use it because there are already suspended particles. So to mix it evenly, you have to shake it. All right. So let's talk about pure substances. A pure substance is matter which has a specific composition and specific properties. When we say specific composition, if let's for example water has two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. If the number of atoms of each element will change, then that is not water anymore. Why? Because again, it has a specific composition and specific properties. A pure substance can be a compound or it could also be an element. So what is an element? An element is a pure substance which cannot be broken down by a chemical process or chemical means, consisting of atoms which have identical numbers of protons in their atomic nuclei or atomic nucleus. Example of an element, a copper. So this one is a copper, though it looks like a compound, but it's not. It's copper. We have gold. Oh, sorry, diamond. This is a diamond, which is composed of carbon atoms, and this is gold, which is composed of. This one is a gold nugget, composed of gold atom. All right. It may look like a compound, but it is not. They are elements. All right. So copper is made out of copper atom. Diamond is made up of carbon atom, and gold nugget is made up of gold atom. So how about compounds? A compound is a molecule made of atom from different elements. All compounds are molecules, but not all molecules are compounds. Like hydrogen gas or other diatomic molecule, but not a compound because it is made of on only one element. So for you to become a compound, there must be two atoms of different elements. Take note of this. This is an example. These are the example of compound. We have hydrogen peroxide. Take note, there is a chemical formula. Potassium nitrate, there is a chemical formula. Calcium carbonate, there is a chemical formula. So what makes it different from a mixture? A mixture do not have a chemical formula. Only the components, like for example, salt solution, the component salt and water. All right, so that makes pure substance different from a mixtures because of the chemical formula. Always remember this when you say compound. It is a pure substance formed when two or more elements are combined chemically. A compound is a distinct characteristic that is unique from its components. Its components are definite with a specific number of atoms and masses. For example, water, two atoms of hydrogen, one atom of oxygen. So if you change the number of atoms of oxygen, let's say you put it like 2, H2O2, then it becomes hydrogen peroxide. So definite composition. For example, the potable water you drink is a non-flammable liquid formed by two flammable gaseous elements, oxygen and hydrogen. And mixture is a material formed when two or more atoms of substance are mixed in a way that no chemical reaction will take place. In mixtures, each component retains its characteristics and properties as material components are only mixed through physical means. Mixture can either be homogeneous or heterogeneous depending on the size of the material being mixed. Variation in the size of components determines how many phases will appear in a